Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm your host, Gabi Lutz, joined by my co-host, Terry Dickerson. I lost her for a second. I was like, where'd she go? And
Just
then
helping
our
out.
and then our sportscaster, Emily Struble, and Gina Morelli is in the other room right now, but that's fine. And she's in the other room because we have a interview. Whoa, crazy. So we have a guest in studio right now, and her name is Kiara Padmore, and she is the vice president of MPS, which is Multicultural Psychology Scholars. Whoa! Thank you so much for joining us, Kiara.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Well, you're the one who woke up at who knows what time. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you for being here.
So let's get on into this, why don't we? Right?
Yeah. Get into it. Yeah.
So Kiara, can you it's so early. I'm so sorry. Kiara, can you explain to us what is MPS and what do you guys do?
So we are the Multicultural Psychology Scholars, and we're an organization on campus that looks at the intersection between psychology and all of the various identities that people hold. And we really just like to kind of examine what it means to be a psychology student with different backgrounds.
That's fantastic. So what does this mean for students?
I like to think, and we've heard a lot from our members that it really gives them a safe space to talk about all of their different identities. We've held a lot of events in the past on things like colorism. We had a Black History Month event where we kind of looked at all these different Black psychologists who kind of got shuffled under the APA after a while because of historical contexts. And then also we've held events on Latinx history. So it really just gives people a safe space to talk about what they learned in psychology and bring their own identity into it. And we have a great time doing it every week. So I think it really is just an environment to be creative and kind of understanding to other people.
Yeah, that sounds great, especially in the psych world. You know, you need to be accepting of other cultures and things like that. So this is great, honestly.
Absolutely. That education is so pivotal to your roles in the psychology field. We also want to get to know you a little bit, touch up on like what you do as vice president. So what does your role entail? Like what responsibilities do you have?
I kind of do a little bit of everything. And I think MPS does a great job with the e-board and everyone kind of interacts in different ways. I do a lot of the administrative stuff. So I'm on Engage a lot, doing event coordination. Again, like just meeting with different members of other groups, planning out co-sponsorships, and then actually doing the research to bring to our members in the community. And I was kind of on the shyer end, and MPS, I never thought I'd be vice president of like an organization. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's definitely like more of the administration stuff at this moment.
Got you. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. Honestly, I commend you for doing all that work behind the scenes. It must be a lot. So like since you said you didn't expect to be put in a vice president position, so like what made you want to get involved with MPS in the first place and what led you to take up this position?
That's a great question. I started off as a transfer student, so I came to Montclair during my sophomore student at that point, and I wanted to go to like different psych clubs and have different psychology experiences. And I found MPS, and they were talking a lot about social justice issues, and I really resonated with that. And so I started off just as a member, like really shy, like back of the room, like not really, talking and, interacting with all the different people at that point. And then I just kind of fell into it. And like I said, it's a really safe environment. So I felt like I could share and learn and do all of that. And then the next semester after that, I got the PR role and now I'm vice president. So I kind of just fell into it, but an interest took me really far. And then I'm glad that it didn't because I'm here now.
Yeah,
WMS.
that's amazing. Honestly, congratulations.
Thank
Honestly,
you. Like
you can see how she's grown so fast. That's honestly so awesome for you.
Yeah, and that is great, and it's so fantastic how just one club can really make you like come out of your shell and things like that, and so obviously this group was like an outlet for you. And so how do you think that MPS, how does MPS, provide outlets and outreaches for their students, and how are they there for their students? Because obviously it did something for you.
That's like, I feel like one of the most important things about organizations. Planning events is really fun, and I love meeting new people, but also giving them the knowledge that they need when they get outside of the club. So what MPS does really well, I think, is really get faculty inside of our doors. So we plan a lot of events surrounding like grad school and resume building. We actually have a CV resume event coming up, not this week, but the week after, at 1:30 to 2:30 on Wednesday, Zoom. Little plug.
Almost.
And yeah, but really getting faculty involved. We have like great we have Dr. Fuentes and Dr. John Wilson, and they both work with our club. And one's a social psychologist. And we really give students the opportunity to meet with professors and talk about their goals and what they want to do once they leave MSU, and get them prepared for jobs in grad school. So I think that's a really important role that we play in some of the students that we meet.
Yes, it sounds great, all of it, honestly.
No, yeah, you guys provide not only education but resources as well. Like, honestly, I feel like that's a great combination. How would you say that being a part of MPS helps your students understand like identity, sexuality, mental health, and all the intersectionalities that come in between those?
Oh, I think giving an open space is just one, because once you feel that you can share and you're not going to be judged, it really blossoms from there. And then I think also just providing information. Some people might be questioning some of their identities or like struggling with something that's inside of them, and they don't always have the resources. So I think knowledge is a big part, and then having an open space, and then just kind of being able to talk about your feelings. Obviously, we have resources on campus like CAPS, which is really important for mental health. Um, but also just having a peer that's going through the same thing. I've met a lot of people that are like, I have family from the Caribbean too, and I don't really see them. And, like, this is how it affects me. And because we have a lot of different students that come from different backgrounds, it's easier to connect and kind of be like, oh, I went through that same thing. Or like, oh, I haven't been back home to the Caribbean in like 3 years and 4 years, and kind of like finding a peer that's going through that exact same situation. So I think it really just gives people the space to question, and have a surrounding friendship building, like just an environment where they can really flourish.
Right, and they don't feel isolated.
Right.
At the
No,
same
exactly.
time.
And I think that's what's great about the schools. There's so much diversity, and in a club like that, it's very diverse as well. And the club, and I think that's great that you can relate to people, and that's always very important, to be able to relate to others.
Yes.
Otherwise, why would you go somewhere if you can't relate? Exactly.
Yep.
I know. What is your pitch for students to join MPS?
Well, I'm obviously very biased because I love MPS and I am the vice president, but I really do encourage students to come out. If you're in the psych field, you should definitely stop in at one of our meetings, just kind of see what we're about a little bit more. Even if you're just interested in psychology, it might not be your major or your minor, but you're still interested in kind of like human experiences and the brain and all of the wonderful things about psychology, you should definitely stop in. But also, if you like social justice, if you like having fun, if you like just getting prepared for grad school, I think we're able to spread ourselves kind of a little bit everywhere. So different people can come in and stop in for a couple meetings. But definitely, if you just need a space to hang out and learn from your peers around you, I think you should check MPS out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna ask if it was all psychology majors or
No.
other people, and
Yeah, anyone's welcome to join. You don't have to be a major or a minor. You could just like psychology or like an event we're doing.
That's
oh,
awesome.
fantastic to know. Isn't it?
My question for you is, how can we find you? How do we reach out?
Yes, a
When do you
very
meet?
important question. So we're on IG at montclair.mps. We're definitely on Engage as well. So you can check us out at Multicultural Psychology Scholars on Engage. And then you could also email us if you have any questions, montclair.mps@gmail.com. And our meetings are Wednesdays at 1:30 to 2:30. And they're every Wednesday. And we'll be very excited to have you if you're interested in coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Oh my
That-
gosh,
yeah,
this
that's
was
what we have
for you.
amazing work. Amazing
Yes.
work. I'm really looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing how you guys grow because you guys do amazing work.
exactly.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for all of your information. It was all really great and really helpful. I really do appreciate it.
Yes.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and we're going to play The Bear by Shred Kelly.